Well, guys, we got a big surprise today in that we get early access to a test server that has the Fall of the Dark Brotherhood content on it. Bethesda has shared access with this. We are supposed to stick to episode 1, but if you remember it all from the last time they gave us early access to something, that was the Chaos Arena, and I did a bunch of hunting around because I wanted to potentially look for other things that may have been accessible on the test build. And if you remember that video or that experience, because I also posted on Reddit, we did actually find some other stuff. So with that in mind, I've made a list. I ran home. I'm still in work clothes, right? I ran home and I've made a list of things that I want to look for real quick. So I want to look for cards that have not yet been revealed. We're going to check in the crafting section. I want to look for the gold price of the expansion. We'll check the store, see if it's available to us yet or not. Any other promotions that may be available, because during Madhouse we also learned about the alternate art promotion. I want to look for maybe other card changes, because during Chaos Arena we got to learn ahead of time about the Burn and Pillage nerf. So I'm going to check some of the cards that I would expect to maybe see balance changes, see if anything's different. And we're going to check to see if there are any new titles or any new monthly cards, because again, during Chaos Arena, that's where we learned early about Elsewhere Lookout. So this is it. I've loaded into the test server. This is going to be my first time, so you guys are going to experience this with me as I hunt, because I certainly am not level 13, and I also do not have 63 packs just sitting around. And as you can see here in the story, right? So actually, let's just be curious here. We have Forgotten Hero, Continue, and Fall of the Dark Brotherhood, which apparently I can hop right in and play, so it's already been unlocked. But as I said, we're going to hunt for some of that other stuff first. So let's start with the store, right? Let's look for... let's start with stories. So, aha! Here we go. Follow the Dark Brotherhood Acts 2 and 3. So right now we only have access to Act 1, as I said, but you will notice that for Act 2 we have $7.99, and we also have 1,000 gold. So I think it's fair to assume that 1,000 gold is in fact the price, and that if you already own one, you can still, for money at a discount, purchase the other adventures as well, right? So there we go. We learned something. Let's check some of the other stuff. Like I said, last time there were special offers available. So Starter Pack, Madhouse Collection. See, this is the one we learned about during Chaos Arena. So we have Mad Prince Pack and Madhouse Collection. So no new special offers. That was another thing we were going to check on the list. Let's also, I guess, check current promotions, but I expect this to be the same. Just want to be safe, right? There we go. Alright, so other things we wanted to look for. Let's hop right into this and see if there are some titles that we can glean. So Chamberlain of Sheograth was something that we found during the other one, right? So we're going to look for anything that's potentially new. Those are all guild stuff. Ah, so we have The Animal Lover, Complete Master Wayrest Plains. That's a new title. And we're still looking. Clever Conqueror. The Crypt Raider. Defeat Alisan at the Night Mother's Crypt. So Crypt Raider is a new title as well. Still kind of looking. The Grand Sapiarch is an old one. Sorry, I just didn't immediately recognize it, but that one is in fact an old one. Alright, the King's Protector. Spared the King of Wayrest. Or the King's Slayer. Assassinated the King of Wayrest. Now that's interesting. I wonder if you can only get one or the other, or I wonder if you can play through twice and take both actions. Because that seems to be a choice type thing. That's interesting. The Listener. Defeat Uther at the Night Mother's Crypt. The Lucky Lady. Deal 20 damage with the Night Mother. So that's also another new title. Rather interesting. Let's see. Master of Stealth. Complete Castle Wayrest, Grand Hall without a disguise, and the Eclipse Hideout by sneaking. So that is interesting because we have Castle Wayrest, but then it says Grand Hall without a disguise and the Eclipse Hideout by sneaking. So I'm wondering if those are other titles and if there are other options or not, right? But that Master of Stealth is kind of a neat title. So we're still looking here. The Risen. Reanimate a 1/1 Odavang at the cultist meeting place. That seems interesting as well. So there are certainly some new titles. The Silencer, early supporter of the Dark Brotherhood. I assume that means pre-order. That's your pre-order title. It's kind of a cool title. The Speaker, again, early supporter of the Dark Brotherhood. Interesting. The Temple's Chosen. Reach 40 health at the Temple of Akatosh. I assume that's related to the new one. That does not ring any bells. And we're still going through. And that appears to be it. But that is a fair amount of new titles. So that is interesting. All stuff that, as far as I know, is never before seen. Other things we wanted to check. The rest of the stuff appears to be in the collection. So we're looking for card changes and new cards and maybe monthly rewards. So let's start first with promotional. I did not mean to hit back. My apologies, gang. I got a little excited. Again, so I want to go back to promotional, and I meant to turn on crafting, right? Because this is where you see your monthly reward stuff. So both of those are known. Both of those are known. Still known. Known. Sower of Revenge. And okay, so we have nothing new in the promotional stuff. No new monthly card. Doesn't surprise me because we're so early in the month, but still a thing. Also interesting, we have 40,000 soul gems to work with on this test server. So as we go to the Dark Brotherhood, we can now see some new stuff. Immediately, I'm already seeing it. So we have Shadow Mirror, a 1-cost 1/1 with charge. Last gasp, shuffle it into your deck, give it +3/+3, and increase its cost by 3. I really like this card. I'm sure find some ways to abuse this because I love charge. If you guys have been on my channel at all, I think charge is the best keyword in the game, so I'm immediately interested in this. This is cool. But that's a new card. Flesh Sculpture, also new. Support with only 2 uses. Transform each card in your hand into a random card. Ooh. I am not a fan of this card. We'll probably talk about that at some other point. Wow. Knife to the Throat. Nice common action. 4. Silence a creature. Draw a card. Not bad. Not bad for the cycle. Alright, so those are our neutral cards. You'll also notice that I'm on Dark Brotherhood. There are no class-specific cards. They're all attribute-specific, or else we would have the dual color. So let's look for some more unrevealed stuff. Gravesinger is the only endurance card we haven't seen. It is a 10-cost 6/6 Imperial with really cool art. At the start of your turn, summon the highest cost creature from your discard pile and give it charge. At the end of the turn, put it on the bottom of your deck. I cannot wait to do something with that. Graveyard/discard pile mechanics are... they have a special place in my heart. I was already dying to make something out of Falkreath Defiler. This guy is kind of hilarious. It sucks that it's at the start of your turn because that means you're going to play him and he's going to die. This quick analysis, probably not like super competitive viable because he doesn't make an immediate impact, but the Johnny in me really wants to play with that card. Alright, let's keep going. Brotherhood Sanctuary. An agility ongoing support, also cool art. When a friendly creature slays, it receives its reward in extra time. So slay-centric, seems pretty cool. And the rest of the agility cards we have seen. Willpower. Looking for something new. Chanter of Akatosh. 1/2. After you play an action, summon a random creature from your deck with the same cost. That could make Action Mage really stand out. Now, it is random creature, but it is from your deck, so you can plan around it. This is almost like almost like Ultra of Despair in terms of how you would build your deck and then like plan it around actions. Like this is rather interesting, right? Like, you know, playing something like Crushing Blow and knowing what 3-drop you're going to get, or at least what 3-drop you have a chance of getting, is pretty interesting. 5 for a 1/2, not that great, but 5 is low enough that in the right style deck you could play this later and really get some bombs. Or if you let him live for a turn, heaven forbid, playing like Dawn's Wrath to get an 8-drop seems pretty good. The other card, Knight of the Hour. 3/3 Prophecy Guard for 5, and summon, you gain 3 health. Prophecy Mage is going to love him. Like, let's be honest, that's pretty solid. Alright, let's keep on going here, because I want to get this up. Strength is the other color we haven't seen a lot of. Quicksilver Crossbow, new item, +1/+1, summon, the wielder deals 1 damage. Now this is important because the item isn't doing the damage, the wielder is, and that means that it will trigger slay effects, because, well, if this is played on your turn. If it's brought on from some other effect on your opponent's turn, that's different, but if you play this on your turn, this would trigger slay effects if it kills something. Skeever Infestation. 3 cost action, summon a Skeever in each lane with a power and health equal to the number of infestations you've played, and shuffle 2 copies of this into your deck. Oh, how interesting. So you play it and you get a 1/1 Skeever, and then you make more Skeever Infestations, and every time you play it, then you get a 2/2, a 3/3, a 4/4. Not that Strength is played too much in Control right now, but this is the sort of thing that the longer the game goes, the better off this gets. This is rather interesting. Fell the Mighty, this is also new. 4 cost action, destroy a creature with 4 or more power. Straightforward. It's a common, but I'm actually kind of a fan of that. There are enough quality creatures that add exactly 4 or more power that if you do play a control deck that has strength in it, that this could certainly see some value. And the last thing that we have not yet seen is Unstoppable Rage, a 7 cost action. A friendly creature deals damage equal to its power to all other creatures in its lane. So this potentially gives you another lane sweeper if you've got a high damage creature in a lane, and you can spend 7 and nuke it. But for me, one of the other things that immediately stands out is that this is 7, and if you combine it with the willpower card for actions, right? You could play both theoretically in the same turn. You play the 5-drop and then you play a 7 if you are at max magicka. And if you already have an existing creature on the board that's bigger than the 1 power guy you just played, you could theoretically like nuke a lane and then play a 7-drop from your deck with that just 2-card combo. But it's interesting that in many ways, Strength kind of got a lot of control elements this time around. The Prophecy Guard guy helps survive the early game. Fell the Mighty's kind of a control card. Underworld Vigilante is certainly going to have power in aggro decks, and I know I'm going to play it there. But that whole like charge and enemy creatures in this lane lose cover certainly has control elements. And Unstoppable Rage is interesting as well. So Strength actually got a fair amount in terms of control tools, but I think that's it for what I wanted to check. I do plan on still going live and playing through some of the story mode content, so don't feel like you're going to miss out on any of that, but I very quickly had a list of things that I wanted to check. Actually, I've got one last thing. It's a good thing I just looked at my list. So, let's turn off the Dark Brotherhood, let's go to all sets, and let's hunt for potential nerfs. So everyone talks about Daggerfall Mage. As of right now, the only thing that's different is this says after it's broken as opposed to after it loses ward. So this is something we knew was coming because they were changing the way stealing keywords works. So it's a buff to Anasi and the new agent that steals keywords. So this just, the wording reflects that. But otherwise no change to Daggerfall, commonly asked for card. Let's check the Big Daddy, Supreme Atromancer. 3/3 for 9. Summon a Flame Atronach in each lane. When you summon another creature, 2 damage to your opponent. Alright, so as of right now on the test server, no nerfs yet. Doesn't mean they aren't coming, but at least last time we had access to a server, there were some nerfs that were present. Shadow Fen Priest is another common one people ask for. Still a 4/4 for 5. silence another creature, or destroy an enemy support. Fair enough. Mundus Stone is another one that people complain about. I'm just checking the things. Summon a creature, give it a random keyword, still 4. Alright, so I'm sure there are ones I'm forgetting that people often complain about. Maybe a Lightning Bolt, maybe they change it to not save face. Nope, still just deal 4 damage, Prophecy. Alright, so doesn't look like there's any immediate nerfs. I'm not going to go through every card. I just wanted to check some of the quick hitters that I know people ask for frequently. If I find something later, because I do plan on posting this video just both to YouTube and to Reddit, I might add something to the YouTube comments and the Reddit comments if I do find something that I found nerfed. But there you have it, gang. We now know the gold cost. We've seen all of the cards now, including the ones that had not yet been revealed. No new promos, no new monthly card. We did see some new titles. So yeah, new information, new stuff. I'm going to go ahead and end this now because, like I said, I ran home. We're cutting this. I'm going to put it up, and I'll be live a little bit later after I get settled in from coming home. But yeah, awesome stuff. Follow the Dark Brotherhood, comes out tomorrow. Be excited, be hyped. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.